Today, we are going to review Project Cengage, SAM Project 1A, Word, Module 6, using MailMerge. Just as your previous assignments, students have files to use. In this assignment, we have an instruction file and a start file. So we will get started with those files to begin. I have already opened those files to get started. Bear with me as I share screens and windows. Sometimes they lag, but I will go as quickly and efficient as possible. So let's get started. Okay, we're going to start with the instruction file. Just as other assignments, the system and the instructions for Henderson Insurance Company, the first step is to resave your file. We're going to change that 1 to a 2. You do not have to add the .docx, just as previous assignments. So that's the first thing you'll do is save the file. I will not waste time doing that. We will go ahead and move to the next steps. As a client associate for Henderson Insurance Company, you are preparing a form letter to send to many prospective clients of Pat Shea, a Henderson insurance agent. The first step, they're asking us to set the top and bottom margin to 0.75 to provide extra space. The second step, and I'm going to toggle back and forth, I highly recommend that you print these instructions, especially for this assignment. It is very sensitive. Students lose points when they've done everything right, and there may be a missing bracket, and it causes students to lose many points. So we're going to be very careful with that. But to save time, I am going to toggle as little as possible, but just know I'm following these steps. I'm still in step 1. I'm changing the margin, top and bottom, to 0.75. And near the end of the letter, starting with Jill Everly, I'm going to turn that into a table. If you highlight, I will go ahead and say this before I move on. If you highlight the three that information, it's automatically, typically will go ahead and do 3 for the table. So let's go ahead and knock out step 1 and step 2. To change the margins, you go to Layout, Margin, Custom Margins, 0.75 for top, 0.75 for bottom. Okay, that was easy. Complete. Step 2 asked us to highlight beginning with Jill Everly all the way to the bottom of this file, to Cengage.com. We're going to insert a table. To do so, highlight that, insert table, insert table. It automatically chooses it. It typically understands what we're asking for. It automatically created the 3 by 3 table. So we're good. Moving on. Let's go back to the instructions. Step 3. To set the document as a form letter, start a mail merge and then select letters. Next, type a new recipient list as follows. So there are 3 steps in number 3. I will not toggle back and forth. I have the instructions printed in front of me, and I recommend you do the same. Just save time. I'm not going to be toggling to answer all 3 of these. So just know we are going to start the mail merge with letters. Then we're going to customize by deleting some fields. So it wants me to delete fields: company name, country, region, work phone, email address. I'm going to rename a zip code, and I'm going to add a field. Okay, so I'm going to complete step 3, A, B, and C without toggling back and forth from the instructions. Okay, so I'm going to share my window. Okay, first, to create the mail merge, I'm going to select letters. So I'm going to Melons, start mail merge, letters. That was easy enough. Complete. Now I am going to start a new list. So to do that, I'm going to select recipients, type a new list. In Customize Columns, step A says customize the columns by deleting the fields shown in Table 1. So the fields is company name, country or region, work phone, and email address. So I'm going to click on Customize Columns. I am going to delete company name, delete. Yes, I want to delete it. Country or region, yes. Delete, yes. Work phone, delete, yes. Email address, delete, yes. Done. Perfect. Rename zip code to postal code. So I'm clicking on zip code, click on rename, and I'm going to change it to postal code. Easy. Then step C says add a new field to the end of the address list as policy. Make sure you're choosing the last, whatever this is last, and hit add, so it will go last. So I'm typing the word policy because it wanted me to create that new field. Okay. I'm good there. So I'm going to hit OK. Perfect. Okay. Go back to the instructions here. Oh, it's not. Okay. So I can't go back to when with this new address list, it's hard. It will not, the system doesn't allow me to toggle back and forth when I have, for some reason, this pop up. So I'm going to read the instructions for number 4, which is simply entering the address information of these 2 recipients in the address list. So I'm just going to fill out their names. So I'm going to start with Mrs. and Janet Barr. Address list 1 is 1815. Make sure you type it. No typos here. 1815 Drive. She doesn't have list 2 in Hartford, Connecticut. 60. Let's see, 06127. Home phone is 860. Make sure you put a little space there. 555 1366. Policy is homeowner, and yes, it's lowercase. Type it just as you see it. Then to add the second entry, I'm just hitting new entry here, and this is Mr. David Walls, 5117 Blair Way, number 402. And this is Windsor. I have such a problem pronouncing that. Windsor, Connecticut, 06095. Home phone is 860 space 555 0810. Okay, and it's auto. I think I spelled that correctly. I typed it pretty fast. Okay. Now I'm going to save the file. The pop-up window wants you to save the file. You can save it anywhere that is easy for you to pull. So I'm going to call this list 2. That's just what I'm going to call it. It is also important to turn on your paragraph. The reason why you should do this is because when there's a space, there'll be a dot. So therefore, you know you're typing it just as it should be. So the way you put on the paragraph mark is you just click here in the paragraph. Okay, so it's home, and then you click on that paragraph mark. You'll see all these little, I call them music notes. I don't know why, but that's what they look like to me. All right. Moving on. This, again, is so important that it is correct. The smallest error will cause many points to be deducted, and I know that is very frustrating. So for step 5, at the beginning of the letter, use the date content to choose February 3rd. Okay, perfect. Replace the text, insert inside address with the 8 merge fields. This is where it gets confusing. Do not use address block for this. You must use your merge fields, and it must look exactly exactly like this. Title, the little dot, first name, the little dot, last name. Get rid of all the brackets. Make sure that after city, you have the comma, okay? So we're going to go ahead and make those changes without toggling back and forth to show you what that would look like. It's just easier if you have it printed in front of you. Okay, so again, I'm going to click here. The date, I'm going all the way back, so make sure it's February 3rd, 2021. Some time ago, time goes by so fast. February, keep going, keep going, keep going. February 3rd, 2021. Easy enough, complete. This is where it gets tricky. Do not use the address block. So I'm going to insert the inside address. And the figure 1 in step 6, I'm sorry, in step 6, we're going to have numerous fields here. So I'm going to, it's asking me to put title, so I'm going to Melons. I'm pulling from the field. So the first thing is title, space, make sure there's a little dot there, first name, space, last name. Title, first name, last name. Now I'm looking here and I see I have these brackets, so I'm going to delete the brackets. Make sure your file looks exactly like the example, and I'll show you what that means momentarily. That looks good. I'm going to the second field. I'm going to insert address line 1. Yes. Insert address line 2. I'm just following the instructions. This one is a little tricky. So now I have city, comma, space, state, space, and postal code. The space is the little dot. So that's why we want to turn that paragraph mark on. That looks good. Let me make sure I do not have any brackets. Make sure the comma's there, just as the instructions state. Perfect. That looks good. So now I'm going to share this window. I'm going to go through a few steps so we're not having to toggle back and forth as often. It just takes a little while to do that. Okay, now 7 and 8 says replace the text, insert title. So we're going to put title and last name, so be Mr. or Miss last name, with the title and last name. In the first paragraph of the body letter, replace insert policy with the policy merge field. Okay, then we are going to insert for step 9. We are going to step 9, A, B, C, and D. This is really unique and awesome about mail merge is we are going to, let's say you want to target someone just in a specific area or zip code or city or by street name, you can do that. So what we're going to do is at the end of the body paragraph to schedule a visit, blah, 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 we're going to put an if-then rule. And we're going to state that if the city is Windsor, then that's what we'll, if the city is Windsor, we will put this comment in the condition of true, and we're going to leave blank the false condition. Okay, so I'm going through step 7, 8, and 9 without toggling back and forth. Okay, I'm going to remind us what we're doing. We are step 7, insert title and last name with title, last name. So I'm going to insert title, merge field, whoops, insert merge field, title, insert last name. As you can see, I have a bracket. I need to get rid of these brackets. Okay, let me get rid of that bracket. Oh, sometimes they're, okay. I still have my space. There's a bracket just hanging out. Dear, title, last name. Okay, that looks good. Then it says for policy, we're going to insert the merge field policy. I got a bracket there, so let's get rid of the little bracket. Wants to hang out there. Got another bracket that wants to hang out. I still have a space between policy and insurance. That looks good. Now we are on step 9, where we're going to put the if field. So right after your sentence, which is your period here, we are going to make a rule. So we're going to the rules section. We're going to do if, then, and else, just as it states. Remember, it asked us to do an if then, if the city is equal to Windsor. Can you hear my birds in the background? Windsor. We are going to insert this text. Make sure it's spelled correctly. Copy paste is always great. I look forward to the digital security workshop in Windsor. Otherwise, for our false condition, it told us to leave the false condition blank. Okay, you won't see it right away, even if you do preview results, because we're looking at, remember, we created 2 fields, but I'm getting ready to show you how we're going to change that. So we did that. We're going to go back to the instructions here. The birds must like to hear me talking. Okay. Okay, so it says, edit the recipient list to filter the data to select only recipients where the city is Windsor to prepare the first batch of letters. Okay, so we're going to do that. Then we're going to complete the mail merge. But before you do that, make sure you scroll down here and you look over this very, very carefully. It can be very frustrating. You think you did it right and you'll have a 72. And then you think, and it's something silly, like there's no comma after city. Or, there may be a hanging out bracket, or there may not be a space between policy and insurance. So just look over everything very carefully before you hit that mail merge. All right, so I'm going to complete these final steps. Okay, to edit the recipient list, you're going to hit edit, and we're going to select filter. Here it is, filter, city, must equal WINDSOR, must equal Windsor, because we want to see that comment we made. Okay. And as you can see, that worked. I look forward to the digital security workshop in Windsor because it's only pulling my Windsor clients. So now, before I merge, I am going to very carefully look over this file to make sure it matches the figure at the end of our instruction document, because it tells us what it should look like. So I'm going to go through here very carefully and look at this information. So title, I have my little dot there, which means those are correct space. First name, last name, address, line 1, address, line 2, city, comma, state, space. Okay. Title, last name, no brackets. Don't go too fast. Let's make sure. Policy, insurance, okay. All right, and then I have my table here. That looks good. I have the statement, so that looks good. I'm going to push this to one page just by hitting delete. We're going to copy anyway, so it shouldn't matter, but I like to have it all together. So then we can now start the mail merge, okay? So I'm going to hit finish and merge. We're going to send that as a new document. Okay, and it did. So it tells us we can copy this by hitting, is it, look at the instructions. It says I can copy. I just want to make sure I do exactly as the instructions state. Okay, so we're going to hit Control A. Whoops. We're going to hit Control A and copy what we just did. I'm going to copy. And it asked us to put it in the original document. So I'm going to, let's see here. I'm just copying what I did. Let me share the screen just so you can see it. I just want to show you all the steps. I think you can now see this screen. This is what it merged to. So I'm going to hit, let's see, Control A to copy what we did. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to put it in the original document just as it asked me to. Again, when my files are going back and forth, it's just very slow. Okay, so now I'm going to, just as it says, to go to the second page and I'm going to paste what my work is. It also tells me that if it goes to 3 pages, to delete the page break to make sure we're back on back that our submission is just, second page here. There's no other pages. I'm going to go ahead and turn off. You don't have to, but I'm going to go ahead and turn off my little paragraph marks. I'm going to look at this again. It looks good. At least I hope so. Okay, so I am going to save this there, and I'm going to drag that over. So I do have 100 here, which is good. On my submission, just follow each step, step by step. I cannot stress enough how important it is to look at the instruction file to make sure it looks just as you want it to look before you select merge. I hope this was helpful. I know it's long. Thank you for your patience. You can always fast forward on things you don't want to hear. You can hit it on 2 times, but I hope this was helpful. I hope you have a great day.